Oh, come on! The book is 50 bits now?
Hey, supply and demand, sir. Haven't you ever taken an economics class?
Well, forget it. I can't afford that.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, hey Redcord. I'm trying to get this new spell book I wanted, but it's 50 bits and I can't afford it.
Oh, no worries, I can buy that book easily.
How in Equestria can you afford that?
Well, I have a part-time job in the Rift Cafe, I do video editing work for others, I have connections with some well-known ponies in the Rift, and if none of that works, I can easily teleport that guy to the moon with a remote I got from Camgo's pony.
Wow. That's a pretty good living you got there.
Yeah, but speaking of living, have you ever wondered who out of the main six is richer than the others, or whoever makes the least amount of money?
I always thought Rarity made the most money out of the others because, you know, she runs her own boutique and she's made outfits for Sapphire Shores on 2 occasions, not to mention her gem finding ability.
That's where I will have to disagree. I think Applejack makes a lot more than Rarity because she owns a whole apple farm which supplies the whole town of Ponyville with apples and other apple products, not to mention they have Filthy Witch on speed dial.
But most of the money they make from the apples must go back into maintaining their farm as well as getting them through the winter like they said in Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000.
Well, what about Rarity? She puts diamonds on some of the outfits she sells. That's basically giving money away, not to mention she lets Spike eat some of them.
Well, we're not going to get anywhere by debating like this, so how should we go about this topic?
I think we could begin by coming up with some categories in order to see who could be the richest out of the main six, and I just figured out which ones we can list for them based on our little debate a while ago. We talked about what Rarity and Applejack do for a living, as well as what they own, their special talents, and who they're acquainted with, so the categories are career or jobs, property, skills, family, and friends.
And to get to the top, you have to start from the bottom. And for the number 6 spot, I think we're going to have to give that to Fluttershy. Whereas everyone else in our cast holds some form of traditional job or another, Fluttershy is the only one we've never seen actually working. She does take care of animals, yes, and one could say that that is her work, but is that work she's really getting paid for? Well, considering her patients all seem to be woodland creatures, I'm going to have to go out on a limb and say no. It is possible, probably even likely, that she could serve as Ponyville's impromptu vet, and that could earn her some extra bits this way, but if so, we've never really seen her do it. But she's got to be earning her money somehow.
There is another possibility that she is a pet groomer, as we've seen in the episode Stairmaster, but again, we've never seen her actually get paid for her service, and this could just be a friendly favor she did for Rarity, and same goes for Applejack and Keep Calm and Flutter On. So Fluttershy has no established career or job in Equestria as far as the show is concerned. However, she does have remarkable skills in communicating with animals of all kind, and she knows how to sew, which can make her some money if she ever decides to charge for her service. Now, family and friends is straightforward. She has no established family members for now, and her friends mainly consist of the other 5, Discord, and Princess Luna, Cadence, and Celestia. And as for property, she just owns that small cottage near the Everfree Forest.
Nicest cottage I've ever seen, to be fair. Though, yeah, I think we're in agreement that Flutters would hit the last place on this list. But she's not going to be alone for long, because at number 5, we have the perfect party pony Pinkie Pie. Like the rest of the ponies on this list, Pinkie does have an actual job. Unfortunately, however, it's more or less retail. Working at Sugar Cube Corner likely doesn't do much to fill Pinkie's pockets, but it does come with the perk of room and board. Now, whether or not the cakes allow her to stay for free or charge her some level of rent isn't really known, but given her skill, I wouldn't say it's out of the question that they allow her to stay for free, considering she likely more than makes up for it with sales.
Not to mention she made some money off of the parties she's thrown in the past, such as Diamond Tiara's Quinceañera, Princess Cadence's wedding party, and some unknown fool's birthday party in Inspiration Manifestation. So let's go over the list for Pinkie Pie. In career or jobs, she works at Sugar Cube Corner making sweets on what I'm assuming is minimum wage. She is most likely renting room upstairs. Her skills involve planning and hosting parties. She has family in the rock business, and she's friends with practically everyone in Ponyville, so she basically has clients all over the town. But sadly, I think this fails in comparison to number 4 on the list.
Twilight Sparkle. Like Pinkie, she likely did not make much from her former job as town librarian, but at the same time, she also may not have had much in the way of expenses either. Unlike Pinkie and the Cakes, Twilight may not have needed to pay out of hoof for any of the books needed for her library, but instead may have acquired them through Celestia. Having connections to the princess does have its perks after all. But this was all before the Season 4 finale. Now she is the proud owner of a new castle on the edge of Ponyville. It's unclear what she'll be doing for her income now, but like I said before, she's got connections. Celestia probably isn't going to let her prize students starve.
There's also some benefits to having a brother as the captain of the Royal Guards, as well as knowing the princess of the Crystal Empire as well. So Twilight has a big advantage in the family and friends department, and as far as skills go, she's not Princess Celestia's prize student for nothing. But as for now, she has no set career or job until Season 5 comes along, and as for having her own kingdom, she is just the Princess of Friendship for now, so other than the new castle, she pretty much doesn't own anything else. As for number 3, I'd say the sky's the limit. Now, Rainbow Dash is the weather manager of Ponyville, which most likely earns her more than minimum wage. And as we've seen in the first episode, Rainbow Dash can clear an entire sky of clouds in under 10 seconds, so little to no work is required for her. She is well known in both Ponyville and Cloudsdale, and this sort of recognition has shown to be a good thing for Rainbow Dash in the past, since she has been put in charge for certain jobs, such as the Ponyville Pegasite team in the episode Hurricane Fluttershy, and as the leader of the weather team in Winter Wrap-Up. And just like Twilight, she doesn't appear to have any debt to pay off, and as for a house, I'd say a weather manager job and her being a Pegasus and all helps her maintain her cloud mansion.
That is, when she's not crashing through the roofs and windows of everyone else's homes, creating damages which I assume she has to pay for. I'm thinking Rainbow might have missed her calling as a demolitions expert. And moving on from the skies to the earth, I think we now reach good old Applejack. And here is where things start getting a little complicated. Yes, the Apple family likely owns more land in Ponyville than anyone else, and yes, they are Ponyville's largest provider of all things Apple related. Their cider sales alone have ponies lining up around the block. However, running a farm is a very expensive endeavor.
I mean, just look how many times they had to raise the barn in episodes like Too Many Pinkie Pies, Apple Family Reunion, and Swarm of the Century, not to mention some expenses in farm equipment as well as some medical expenses here and there. And if Twilight didn't perform the spell to make the vampire fruit bat stop eating the apples, that would have been catastrophic for the apple farm. And going back to cider season, even though they do get a line-stretching fall, cider season barely helps them get through the winter alone, so most of their profits must go back into maintaining the farm. Applejack has the advantage in property, family, and friends as well as skills, but apple farming is a tough market to be in, but that doesn't mean they don't make some profits here and there, which is why it's obvious that out of all the main 6, Rarity would be on top of the list.
Rarity pretty much has the best of all worlds, from connections to some of Equestria's elite, including Twilight, Celestia, Fancy Pants, Hoity Toity, and Sapphire Shores. She also owns her own booming dress shop that has sold and modeled across Canterlot, Manhattan, and other high culture areas. She does all of her own work herself, meaning she has no employees she needs to pay, and often even hoof makes her own fabrics from scratch. Rarity has all, if not more, of the income of the Apple family orchard with only a fraction of the expenses. Not to mention that, unlike AJ, Rarity doesn't need to coast off of her previous earnings during the winter. While her income is a little more volatile to change, unlike Rainbow, who works a steady job with steady hours and steady pay, considering how much exposure Rarity has gotten over the course of 4 seasons, there's no way she can be classified as a starving artist.
I can also hear the argument, but Rarity puts diamonds in her dresses, which she then sells to ponies and gives some to Spike to eat. Well, remember all those gems she got in a dog and pony show? I highly doubt she will run out of material, plus we only see her use small gems on the outfit, since any big ones would cause the outfit to be too heavy as seen in Mod Pie, and not to mention how easy it is for Rarity to find gems with unicorn magic. So going off the list, Rarity has a well-paying fashion career as well as a successful boutique with a vast supply of fabric material and gems of all kind. She is known from Canterlot all the way to Manhattan in the fashion business and is acquainted with upper-class ponies as well as the princesses. So in conclusion, Rarity is indeed the pony that every pony should know.
She is most likely the richest out of the main 6 for now. Once Season 5 comes around, though, there will be a whole new set of opportunities for our favorite characters.
You got that right. Well, my break is over, and I'm needed in the Rift Cafe.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks again for the book, man.
No problem. Oh hey, can you do me a little favor?
What's that?
Can I borrow 5 bits for the bus ride back to the rift? I kinda spent all the money I had at the time on your book, and my remote ran out of batteries during the video.
Yeah, fine, I can cover you this time. I'm gonna have to charge it, though. Yeah, I hope this place accepts Pony Express.
You know, I've never asked what you do for a living.
Let's just say it involves some late night shifts at Canterlot.
Stay pony, my friends.